Oh, is it time for Gundam talk, guys? Uh-oh, is it time for Gunpla talk? We're actually very close to chatting about what I bought. Actually, I didn't buy a Gunpla model though, so it's not 100% related. Oh, I have to switch the scene. Thank you for reminding me. Whoopsie. There we go. That's just one of those things. I'm getting used to it. Getting used to using this thing. Okay, that's one down. Yeah. I gotta switch the screen, the scene. TGB, you have Catachans and Cadians. Nice. Oh, I just realized that I didn't paint the ammo on this one. Gotta do that. I really like the Death Corps of Krieg models from when they were originally released as Forge World, and I remember trying to buy some. This was like several years ago, but even by then, they were all sold out. I couldn't get them from Games Workshop. Yeah, unfortunately. But thankfully, they're just about to re-release them now, right? Because the new Kill Team game has Death Corps models for the IG, and damn, I'm kind of tempted to get them just because to fulfill my wish from so long ago of getting those models. They look really cool. The new ones look good. I would say they look nearly as good as the original Forge World models. But I think the thing that really captured my imagination with the original Forge World release of the Death Corps models was that they had several of them kind of like in non-action poses, like more like just standing around and stuff. And it just had like a different attitude than your typical Citadel miniature, where the guys are usually in big action poses and stuff like that, right? Running at you. And I think that the new Death Corp models for Kill Team kind of have like a bit more of an action vibe to it. And yeah, that's not exactly why I loved the models. Music is a little loud. Okie dokie. I think we're done with this track. Anyways, let's go back. Let's put this down a bit. I'm sure you guys love this Renaissance Fair stuff. Alright. Mikazuki. The Elite Guardsmen and the Orcs will be available separately? Oh. Well then, well. That's fine. I don't have to buy Kill Team. Although, I don't know. I think I asked Mikazuki this once, but TGB, have you played Kill Team? What are your thoughts on Kill Team? Oh, listen to these guys. We're talking about Gunpla. TGB. You just finished building the full mechanics 1 to 100 scale Barbatos Lupus Rex. Oh, yeah. Alright. Let's get some more of this bleach bone. I know that it's not called that anymore, but still in my heart, it'll always be bleach bone. There we go. And we went on a rant about Necromunda. Man, oh gosh, I think I want to play something. Should I play Necromunda? Should I play Kill Team? I think that between me and Night Trap, we're gonna try and set up a game of Shadespire or Warhammer Underworlds at some point. We'll try and play that live on stream. We don't have no idea how that'll go, but that could be a bit of a long-term project. We're kind of trying to work things out, work the kinks out. And I've forgotten the rules, to be honest, so that's another thing, but yeah. Here we go, Bacon. Bacon has found a kindred spirit now to discuss Gunpla. TGB, I want Krieg models. Eventually I will have at least one regiment from each guard faction. Wow. Do you have any Vostoyans? Is that what they're called? Vostoyans? They're basically like the Russian guys. Those guys look cool. But I think that those were only ever in metal, so I don't think that they're available anymore. They've made so many Imperial Guard models over time. Mikazuki, you'd say Necromunda because of the unique sculpts. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool sculpts. So I actually had 2 Necromunda armies, older armies. I guess they wouldn't be called armies. I had 2 Necromunda gangs. I had a Van Sar gang. That was like the most recent one that I painted. And I had a Spire gang. And the Spires are not a gang that they've sort of remade just yet for the latest version of Necromunda, although I'm assuming that they'll get around to it eventually. Okay, so let's take a quick look here and see how we're doing with these guns. I think that they're looking mostly painted now. But yeah, that's that TGB. That's good that they're released. I think it was you that mentioned that they're releasing them separately. I definitely will consider buying some Krieg models just to have them because they're so cool. I used to play this game on PS3 called Killzone, and the Death Corp look a lot like Killzone guys. The Radgast, something like that. The Hellgast from that game. But that design in general owes a lot to an anime called Jinro? Yeah. The whole look of like a mask, like a soldier with a mask and glowing eyes. I think that there's a real life army that have that look, but I also sort of recall that look getting popularized in an anime called Jinro. Okay. All right. Oh, this is... Woo! I dropped it. Sorry. Mikazuki, it was you. Oh, okay. Apologies. Getting confused here. Can you imagine having, like, more people in the chat than all? I would definitely be super confused as to how the conversation is going and who's saying what. But, this here is the gun that's going to go on this platform. This is a very old model, by the way. This is a metal model. But I'm just... I disassembled it, and it'll kind of look like this when it's done. Kind of like that. So, we're coming along with this, but this was not part of my original challenge to complete my models this month, to complete my Eldar Guardians. So we're focusing just on the foot guys for now. So, what should I do now? TGB, my Imperial Guard army is sitting a little over 10,000 points right now. That is a lot. Wow. That's I mean, mostly how many what's like the normal regulation point, like standard point size game that people play now? Is it 2,000 or is it 1,500? So, if you have 10,000 points of IG, that's like a lot of options at the very least. Do you happen to have a Twitch account as well, or rather, do you stream, or do you have like an Instagram where maybe you post pictures? I definitely would like to check that out if you do. Go buy another army and then complain about how you have no money. That's always a good option to do when painting and looking for something to do. Alright. I am thinking that I might glue this on. Or no, I can't. Not just yet. There's the gem. Some of these guys have gems that are dangling as a little cell phone charm. And then some of them have these little rune things. So I think I gotta do those. And also some of them have like a piece of string, like a piece of rope like tied around their arm. And I'm wondering if that might be easier to paint when it's on the model. I think that... I don't know. Would that be easier to paint separately or on the model? I'm not really sure. Well... Okay, let's do the danglers then. What I'll do is I'll paint some of this. We'll use this. We'll finish that up, and then we'll move on to something else as a little diversion. TGB, I used to play a lot of Apocalypse games. Wow. Most games are 2,000 to 3,000 points. Why do you keep mentioning the wrong people? That's fine. Oh, cool. You have Instagram with photos of your army. Nice. Let me bring this up. I'll follow you on Instagram. You're gonna get a follow in the next few minutes. That's me. I'm just shaking this up, so give me a moment, guys. Shake, shake, shake. I've never used this paint before. Have any of you used Army Painter brand paints? I've heard that they're pretty good. Maybe not as good as Citadel paint, but I'm trying it out for the first time. So we'll see how it fares. And I can put out my here we go. Nerd Outpost. Follow. Alright, let's see. Let's pour some out. Ooh, okay, the consistency is different than what I'm used to. Definitely need to water it down a bit. TGB, you've painted more since then? Wow. And you also have army painter paints? And you like them? Okay, cool. Nice, good to know. Yeah, they seem to be decently popular. So I might go and get some more if I end up liking them. Okay. Okay. Okay, time to paint the little dangler. And this is gonna seem really bright and maybe out of place, but I will kind of bring it down a bit with I'll shade it with something to kind of bring it down and not make it so crazy bright. And one thing that kind of sucks is I'm realizing that when I originally spray painted these, I may have been a little too heavy-handed, and so this charm is a triangle shape, and there's a hole in the center. Yet when I sprayed them, and again, this is when I was like really young and dumb, I put it on far too thick, so the tiny little hole got covered up. And I think I need to switch my brush for this. Let's switch up ZBrush. That actually looks pretty cool. I like it. And yeah, like I said, I'll bring it down a bit with some shading a little later. I'll definitely take a look at that Instagram account a little later. Okay. Yeah, and this is another example where the little hole in the center, I definitely oversprayed it with primer, and it's basically all closed up. And I guess I can paint like some dark color in the center as a triangle, and that might kind of fix it, maybe. We'll see. And let's try... I'm debating if I should paint the straps around their arms, if I should do that in this blazing hot pink as well. I don't know. Maybe not. Let's do one. Let's paint one and see how it looks, and if I don't like it, I can always paint it up over again. Because the other option is to do it in yellow. There, it's not enough. It's not like so in your face that I think it looks distracting. I think that might be okay. Because yeah, I might do it in yellow. Let's see. Actually, I think it might look better in yellow. So, well, this one guy will have a pink one. TGB. You do have a Twitch channel. You only stream gaming right now, and no. But now I have no internet. Oh no. So I haven't streamed in a fat minute. Okay, I understand. I mean, mostly I've been streaming playing games, and it's only like close to the end of the year did I start painting, but that was always kind of part of the plan, was to start to paint miniatures on stream. So I'm enacting that plan now, and we're just slowly kind of improving and getting better at doing it. as I go along. Mikazuki, you can play like 500 points, but most people like to play high point games. Yeah, I figured, right? I mean, yeah, I seem to recall a lot of people going like 2,000, and I don't know if that's the case still to this day. Yeah, that's why something like Kill Team or Necromunda appeals to me. But yeah, to be honest, I'm more of a fantasy player. Like I used to play a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, and now it's turned into Age of Sigmar. I would more likely play uh, one of those games, but I do recognize that 40K is like far more popular than than Age of Sigmar by a lot, I think. Okay. Bacon, you took a look at the new avatar. Looks cool, but I wish there was more emphasis on his bloody hand. Uh, yeah, I did notice he has like if you look, he does have a bloody hand, but it seems to me like the blood is mostly on the forearm and not really on the hand. Weirdly enough, I did take note of that. And yeah, Mikazuki's mentioning the Daughters of Cain conversion. There's like this chariot or something for the Daughters of Cain in Age of Sigmar, and it has like a statue to their god Cain, and there's this whole lore behind that where like they praise the god Cain, but the god is dead now, which I don't want to get into. It's actually kind of interesting, but it's a lot. Um, but the statue to Cain looks a lot like the Eldar avatar. It's one of those things where uh, there isn't like 100% connection between the worlds of Age of Sigmar and 40K, but there are similarities, and most obviously the chaos gods and everything all are the same, and the models are cross compatible. But that's the only case of it. There's nothing else really that it crosses over. Okay. Okay. That is all the danglers. All the dingle dangles. Are there any little accent things that I need to paint on this too? Let me take a look. Mikazuki, I think many people did use the K model as the Eldar avatar. So I think that Forge World made an Eldar avatar as well, which is it's slightly more modern. Like it's bigger, but it's also like skinnier, I think. Hmm. I wonder if I should. So these models have the dangler thing too. Just wondering if I should paint that. If I should paint that pink as well. Let's do a test. Let's paint one guy like that and see. So yeah, I think tonight they're gonna show off some more stuff, some more Eldar stuff. Could be exciting, could be cool. Okay, I think that looks pretty cool. We're at the point now where we're doing like a lot of fine details. TGB, thanks for the follow there. I appreciate it. The Eldar, the Aeldari. Okay, so got the danglers, and we're gonna go shade that down a bit. But there's also the yellow like banding, and I think we'll glue the models on. We'll glue it on. We'll glue the arms onto the models before we get onto that, as well as the gems. I said I was only going to paint one gem on these models each, but I think that the guns might need a gem. I don't know. Some models have a gem dangler, as I was saying, so I think I gotta do that. Just taking a look at the arms. Sorry, the pink stuff that I did. I'm gonna shade it down. Oh, and I just realized that, yeah, I gotta do these things too. We'll do that. I'm really curious if they're going to make any new models for the aspect warriors. If they're going to make if they're gonna do striking scorpions or warp spiders. Those are old models. The howling banshees I think were recently remade, so don't think there's any need to do those. Okay. Let's see, I think that's it. Alright, so now we got a shade. Find a shade color. Okay. Let's get a darker red, I guess. And maybe a bit of this blue. Kind of like to make a purplish color. And then we can create the shading. Gotta mix these up, gotta shake them up, so pardon me while we do a bit of shaking. So this is Cantor Blue and Mephiston Red. Pretty excited that I'm almost done these guys. One thing that I need to get, and I tried looking at the store I was at yesterday, and I didn't see any, but maybe I didn't catch it, but I'd like to get some grass tufts to put on the base. I think that'll look really nice, but I'm thinking about getting something that's like a sandy color for the tuft. So it would be like dry grass, and maybe also getting like another tuft that's like weird and alien colored. I know they sell like weird colors for grass tufts as well. Mikazuki want to convert up one of those new Ranger models into a GSC Gene Stealer called Sanctus. Knowing GW, the Rangers will probably be 35 pounds. Doesn't Army Painter make lots of grass tufts? Yeah, they do. And different colors too, I think. If not them, then a different company. It's just that the store that I went to the other day, I didn't see any. So yeah, I'd have to like order it online or something. So between these two colors, I made this, which is like a kind of like a darkish, brownish, purplish color. And now I'm going to mix that with the pink, the fairy pink Army Painter. And this will be the shade, and I'll make it like the consistency of like a really watery consistency, so we can just kind of dab it all over the place on the dangler thing, and then that'll be that, I think. Here we go. Let's get it on. Let's do this. It's pretty funny how it seems like a lot of people are getting back into the hobby, or any kind of hobby really, thanks to the current state of the world. But it's like, especially with Warhammer, which is different than say like Gunpla, right? Where in theory you're building and you're painting towards ultimately playing a game. I know that not a lot of people. There's a lot of not. There's a decent amount of people that just paint for the sake of painting, and I'm more along those lines as well. But there's also many people that ultimately want to play, and it's just kind of funny how it's just that we haven't played the game yet in a while, just waiting, hoping for the time and the chance. Whereas with Gunpla, you're gonna paint a model, you're gonna build a model, and the end result is something that you're gonna display and pose around and play with. But you're not necessarily like playing a game with Gundams, with Gunpla. Okay. Okay. And like I said, I might have to go back and paint the little triangle again, a little dark black triangle to bring it back. I mean, at the end of the day, like whether you're into Gunpla or Warhammer, you're kind of like basically building models and finding an excuse to play with toys. It's more serious than toys, Mom. They're not just toys. Okay. All right. Now, the paint hasn't dried just yet for the little dangly parts. But I think we can move on to gluing these. Can finally move on to gluing this stuff. But I think I need to go and grab another bottle of glue. This one's pretty much out. So give me a second. All right. Bacon, I still find it funny how most people who play with these toys are adults. Yeah, well, because adults are the ones with the money. When you're like a kid, you've got a lot of disposable income, and then when you're like a young adult, you kind of don't, as you're trying to get your life organized. And then finally, when you're like a adult with a capital A, then you've got like the money, I guess. I don't know. It's all just an excuse to play. Those who play, am I correct in saying that, Bacon? Does a Luden encompass tabletop games as well? Yes. Like literally playing with toys. War dolls. War dolls! Okay. Just painting the little triangle. Here you go. There's my glue. Got my glue. Gonna glue that on. These babies on. Thank you. Alright. Okay. So, this is a rather exciting moment, I guess. Finally I get to glue on these arms onto these guys. I've been painting them, taking pictures of these models for a decent little while, and they've always been armless. So finally, the time has come. I might have to do a quick test fit because some of the models might fit. Some of the arms might fit better on some. Okay, that fits pretty well. Okay, so what's the strat? What's going to be the fastest production line to do this? Let's just test fit all of them so that I know. Okay, that's okay. This one here. Quick test fit. And I think the best thing to do is to glue it on the body. Put the glue on the body and then jam the arms in there. I think that's going to be the strat. Okay. Mikazuki, well, if that's the case, you've never had an army? Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the joke. These guys are armed. They're finally armed and dangerous. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's do it in batches of 4. So, a Twitch streamer that I follow, not involved in the Warhammer or model making hobby at all. Well, at least not that I know of. Majin Obama. I won a contest on his stream where he was giving away posters for like fighting games and stuff. He's a fighting game streamer / variety streamer. And I won something. That was like last year. And he's finally getting around to mailing out the prizes for people that want stuff. But unfortunately, he's been having some problems getting prizes out to Canada, where I reside. Just a weird quirk of shipping and international shipping policies thanks to the pandemic, blah blah blah. So I heard him mention that he was like looking into other ways to get the prizes out to me and like the other like couple of Canadians that won. And I woke up this morning and I got a message from him via Twitter, and he's like, "Yo, I need your address and blah blah blah." I was like, "Holy crap, he found something. That's cool." But he sent that in like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So obviously I wasn't gonna see it. Sometimes I'm up that late, but many times I'm not. So I saw it in the morning, and I that was the first thing I did in the morning was kind of get that information to him. But hopefully everything's fine. He's in Japan, by the way. I don't know if I don't think I clarified that. That's why it's like hard for him to ship stuff out, I guess. Shipping out to from Japan to Canada apparently has been very challenging. I know Bacon has been ordering various things, models and Gunpla, and let's do a quick plug here. Actually, there's Bacon Beer Can is here in the stream. He does a lot of streaming of building Gunpla as of late, as well as Lego and playing some games. So definitely check him out. And I'll also throw out a shout out to Night Trap, my mod, my brother, my bruv, and he helped me a lot getting my stream going here with OBS. So shout out to Night Trap. So check out his channel too. I'm pretty sure he's going to be building some Gunpla, I think, maybe pretty soon. So check out his channel. Mikazuki, Japan. Bacon, the local post service in Japan doesn't ship anything out to Canada. They'll have to use another courier like DHL or FedEx. No commands. Yeah, I don't have any of that set up just yet for stream. Like I said, I just started to figure out, with the help of Night Trap, once again, mention Night Trap, how this all works. Streaming on Twitch with OBS, that is. Previously, I was using my iPad and using Streamlabs. So, it's gonna get all that set up eventually. Yeah, I think that Obama ended up using FedEx, but I'm not 100% sure. This arm's a little loose. Just trying to find a good set of arms to put on. Okay, this is a nice one. Bacon, I think they ship out small packages, but nothing too big, yeah. So the thing that he's trying to ship out would be something quite fairly long, not big, but like long in a poster tube. I want a poster. It's a poster for Virtua Fighter. That would have been in the arcades, which is actually pretty neat. It's like a neat little piece of history when you think about it. This is something that would have been in the arcades, and you know, probably like a lot of really talented fighting game players would have been, you know, battling it out, duking it out underneath that poster. That's kind of a cool thought, right? Some of the best fighters and players in the world, maybe. And of course, you know, even Japan, the long-standing stalwart of arcades, sort of like the last bastion of actual arcades. Even Japan is sort of like been reducing their arcade storefronts, arcade locations, which is kind of sad. A lot of like notable Japanese arcades have been closing, and that's also sad on a personal level for me, because you know, at some point I'd like to go to Japan, but you know, the opportunity now to visit these arcades is closing. The window is closing to visit these like cool locations. Like, you know, obviously if I were to go to Japan, I'd like to see a lot of cool historical locations, right? But like actual historical locations. But in terms of like personal pop culture, nerd culture, historical locations, like I'd like to see an arcade, and a Japanese arcade. But yeah, the opportunity is closing. Big F for Club Sega. Goro, that's a wicked prize. Oh yeah, Goro, it is a pretty neat prize, the Virtua Fighter poster. There's so many arcades, but yeah, it's very sad. Bacon, your HoloLive merch is stuck in Japan. Sad, no. Is there any idea when it'll come? Like when it's going to get shipped then? Mikazuki, just a force of habit when someone says shout out. Yeah, I understand. We'll get that set up eventually. Mikazuki, I come to Canada for a week and then go to Japan. Goro, I feel blessed, but man, it hurts. It breaks my heart, Goro. Yeah. Goro, I kept delaying historical things as many of them were boring, but now I wish I'd seen more. Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to mix it up. You need to see the historical, like, educational places that, you know, in some respects might be a little boring, but yeah, it's one of those things where you definitely wanna see that too. Okay, so let's glue these arms. I've kind of test fitted the ones that are gonna fit nicely. So let's get these ones done. And while I'm at it, like even traveling within Canada isn't like a super awesome idea at this point in time. But I feel like it's important to like explore the country that you reside in too, right? So I feel like it's a kind of a shame that like I've only been to like places in Ontario and in Quebec, but yeah, I haven't really looked into too much outside of outside of those places, and that's something that I'd like to kind of address, see more of. Shit, this arm doesn't actually fit nicely. Let's put this on someone else. See more of my own country. I think that's kind of important to do as well. I've always wanted to take like a train ride uh, across Canada. That would be cool. Or the Trans-Siberian Rail. Is that what it's called? I always wanted to go on that too. That's the rail that like goes like across Russia from east to west and even into China, I think. I think that's kind of cool. I think it'd be really fun to go on that. Like obviously there's a lot of nerdy things that I'd like to do visiting Japan, blah blah blah, but yeah, there's also a lot of non-nerdy things. Well, you know, I guess being a train nerd is a whole different kind of nerd, I guess. And you know, Canada had its like 500th anniversary or something like that a couple years ago, and one of the things that they were giving away as like a prize was like a via rail trip around Canada, or something like they made like a really cheap ticket for people to buy and just go around Canada for super cheap on train, but it was only for people within a certain age bracket, unfortunately. Let's catch up on the chat real quick. Bacon, for some reason, that online store only uses EMS, which is the local Japan Postal Service, so I won't get them until things open back up. Hopefully at some point soon, within the next few months, hopefully. Kind of sucks having that stuff just be waiting and rotting somewhere. Bacon, I have stuff that was released in April last year and it hasn't shipped. Holy crap. Goro, a lot of it is natural stuff besides the cities. Montreal and Toronto are the biggest, are the biggest and best in Canada. Yeah, but I don't mind natural beauty too. I think that's pretty awesome, even though I kind of suck at camping to some extent. I do, I don't mind natural stuff. I think Vancouver is a bit meh. Toronto and Montreal are actually great cities across North America. Bacon. Training Canada is overrated, at least going from Toronto to PEI. Oh yeah, you went somewhat recently from Toronto to PEI. And was that via rail? Uh, what kind of cabin did you get when you were taking that ride? Was it like a personal cabin, or was it the kind where it's almost like a subway, but you had like a desk in front of you, or like an airplane? Was it like an airplane kind of, where you just have like a little table in front of you? Girl, oh yeah, there's PEI in Halifax and all that. Yeah. I briefly looked into to traveling like north, like what is it called? Iqaluit, which is one of the what do they call that? Territories or something like that. I was briefly considering just kind of going there and just seeing what it's like, because apparently it's like really cheap to go there, but it's expensive to live there or something. But it's just super harsh, the climate. And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, I don't think I want to go somewhere where I'm going to die out in the cold. I already hate the cold enough as it is. Mikazuki, you better take out your pension before you go to Japan because I'm gonna spend a fortune. Yeah, that's something that we all talk about amongst ourselves in the chat. Is like, how broke are we gonna be when we go to Japan, right? After buying all the stuff. God damn. I feel like yeah, that's just one of those things that you have to accept if you're into the hobby, various nerdy hobbies, and if you're gonna go to Japan, you're gonna spend a lot of money. TGB, it's okay. I'm a tank nerd. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like super knowledgeable about trains, but I find them really interesting. And there's this TV show that's all about like trains, super trains or something like that, and I love watching that show, talking about the process of managing trains and how it all works and everything. I don't know. I find that interesting. I don't have a train Lego set though. I should get one at some point. That'd be cool. Let me just glue this one, and then I'll check the chat again. Okay. Bacon Via Rail, they were airplane type seats. You can get a small room that comes with a bed, but those are very pricey. Yeah, man, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that it'd be like really all that pricey to get one of those like bed room type train seats. I don't know. I just wouldn't have thought that they'd be that much, just because I don't know. I just assumed that train travel wasn't as popular as just going by plane. So I just thought that the prices would be a bit more reasonable, but evidently not. Okay, Goro. Something interesting here. In high school, we did a few days living on a frozen lake in Temagami during winter. That sounds bad. It was a northern survival training subunit that my school had. Whoa, that sounds crazy. Lived in a Quincy, which I don't even know what that is, and you shat in the woods, cooked on a fire. Nice, living it out in the harsh climate. I think a lot of Canada is that. There's no city in the world like Tokyo, but I have to say I gotta visit New York with all my TMNT and Daredevil obsessions. I've been to New York a handful of times. And even more if you count going to Buffalo, but I kind of don't count going to Buffalo as visiting New York. But I've been to like New York, and that was really fun. And that was actually right on the verge before New York kind of got a whole lot safer and presentable. It was more like the movies that you saw. It was closer to like the movies that you saw on TV. New York depicted in Ghostbusters 1 and 2, kind of like the grimy New York. So I'm kind of glad I went to New York at that time, because it's gone now. Mikazuki, if I go to Japan, I want to go to the JDM meetings. Bacon, I want to check out one of those Itasha meetings. What is JDM meetings? What is Itasha meetings? If you can say... I don't know what that is. Goro. Buffalo is just Bizarro Canada. It kind of is. It's just like Canada's outlet store. It's where you go to buy like a cheap jacket for the winter. Yeah. So I've been to Buffalo a bunch of times, but I wouldn't consider that going to New York in some ways. It's just a shopping destination. And even that, I don't think that like Buffalo is even that anymore, unfortunately. Because that was kind of fun to do as a family. We'd make a day trip out of going to Buffalo, buy some crap, buy some clothes. There was actually this like, so in Canada we didn't have KB Toys. But anytime I went to the States for whatever reason, family stuff or whatever, I'd always try and make a point to visit KB Toys. And yeah, in Buffalo, there was one kind of close by that we could go to, and that was really cool, checking out KB Toys. KB Toys was kind of like EB Games or GameStop, but for toys. Toys exclusively. I feel like if they diversified and got into like video games, they'd probably be alive to this day. do, 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 do. Goro, I used to drive over there quite a bit for metal shows and parties. Oh, interesting. what an interesting and varied and wild life that you've lived, Goro. Just from the few snippets that you've revealed today, you shat in the woods and camped out in the forest and went to metal shows and parties in Buffalo. And I know more about your lore, but even just that is quite fascinating. Could be a book. That's like 2 chapters in your life story right there. Chapter 7, shitting in the woods. Chapter 12, driving to Buffalo to party. Mikazuki, JDM Cars. Itasha is cars wrapped with anime girls. Oh, okay. Understood now. Yeah, there's a couple of YouTube videos out there where like Americans or Westerners go out to those meetings, like late night in Japan, and checking out all the cars and stuff. It's pretty neat. I've seen some videos like that where they go to those late night meetings. It's almost like a secret society in some ways. I mean, despite the fact that they're like super loud cars. Let's line up these guys real quick. Let's take a look at what we've done thus far. I still have to glue more arms, but they're kind of separate, but we can do that. I'll do that another time, or I'll do that off stream. And so we're very close. We're very, very close to being done. I might even just finish the rest offline, but let's take a look one last time at these guys. Line them up, and then we'll move on to something else. I'll take a little break, and then we'll move on to something else. I'm also thinking about painting the eyes this pink color. I think that might be kind of neat. I think it'll stand out, at least. So yeah. That's these are all the guys that are like 90% complete now, and then here's like a couple more without the arms that I still have to do. And there's just like the little details now, like gluing the arms and painting just a couple more gems. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty excited that we're very nearly done these guys. And I'm actually quite happy with how they look. They look kind of neat. Like that's the thing that I'm always like super excited about, is just that satisfied feeling when they're done, and you get to look at your guys and be like, yeah, those are my guys. So I'm looking forward to that feeling. So let's set these guys aside.